long has it been since you slept with Miss Pitt? Look at me in my face when you testifying, because you know what? Liars look around when they're talking. I'm right here.
I can't remember, y'all.
It was just the car that he would let Alexis drive while he was at work. So Quentin tells me he had to knock on the door to get his best friend to tell him where Alexis, he said, why is my car over your house? Where's Alexis? He said that Alexis let him use the car.
We were living in the same household, in the same bed.
You living in the same house?
Around the time, yes.
So were you sharing a bed?
Yes, ma'am.
And fluids.
No.
Clearly.
Strap yourselves in, folks. Ms. Brown Murray is introduced and acknowledged for her military service. She expresses gratitude for the recognition. The scene sets the stage for the discussion of personal and sensitive matters related to her family. If you think this is something, just wait for what's up next.
First, I'd like to say thank you so much for your service to our country. Today you say you stand before me outraged because your husband has accused you of infidelity while serving in Iraq.
Talk about a curveball. Ms. Brown Murray addresses accusations from her husband that she was unfaithful while serving in Iraq. This accusation has led to him questioning the paternity of their child, adding a layer of tension to the proceedings. Buckle up, it's about to get bumpier.
He now doubts paternity of your child. Mr. Murray, you argue that your wife did indeed cheat on you while serving overseas. You contend that there's no way you could be the father because she announced she was too soon after returning home.
Wow, get a load of this. Ms. Brown Murray discusses the temptations and challenges of being a married woman overseas, emphasizing her fidelity despite difficult circumstances. This moment highlights her struggle and commitment to her marriage. And just when you think you've heard it all,
when you're overseas at first, I mean, there's gonna be temptations, and there's gonna be guys that look good, and there's gonna be guys all around, and you're gonna see guys, but that doesn't mean that you have to go outside of your marriage.
So you admit that there is temptation?
There's temptation all around, but I didn't cheat and I didn't go outside of my marriage, and I know that in the military there's a rule, and I assured him every day, Skype every day, and when I wasn't able to Skype, it was because there was a bomb going off or something.
Here's a twist for the books. Mr. Murray shares his fears and insecurities about being alone and uncertain during his wife's deployment. His emotional vulnerability is evident as he discusses the impact of the military environment on relationships. Hang tight, the roller coaster's not over yet.
What made it scary for me, first time me being alone in another state with no family. My wife is deploying overseas. Don't know if I'm gonna ever see her again. And if I do see her again in one piece, they're gonna have love for me. It's a lot of men's on base, younger men. So that has a lot to do with it, my being guilty or bad conscience.
Can't make this stuff up. Ms. Brown Murray explains her efforts to maintain communication and reassure her husband of her fidelity amidst the dangers of her deployment. This emphasizes the strain on their relationship caused by physical and emotional distance. Next, we dive deeper into the drama.
And fearful on this level, or did you feel like he was trying to hide that from you?
I mean, I knew about it at times, but at times he was controlling it while I was over there.
And how about his fears of you cheating? Were you aware that he was this fearful?
Yes,
that you would cheat?
Yes, because I guess he was scared because I had a friend while I was over there. I mean, I built a friendship with a friend, so I guess that's the reason why he...
Well,
didn't see that coming, did ya? A conversation about military life and fidelity arises, with Mr. Murray recounting troubling advice from a young military member, which escalates his fears about infidelity. This reflects the misunderstandings and rumors that can exacerbate tensions in military marriages. Up next, a testimony that could turn the tables.
in the military's world, when they overseas, they have a group of people, and that group got to stay with each other. If they're there for 2 years, he said it could be 40 married ladies on base.
And that's not true. That's not true.
Well, this is what he said. It could be 40 married ladies on base. Every last one of them ladies sex with another man, because on the base is what happened on this base stays on this base.
Get ready for the scoop. A witness, a former military member, discusses the commonality of forming close bonds and some service members engaging in infidelity. This testimony aims to provide context to Mr. Murray's concerns, but also showcases the diversity of experiences within the military. Don't go anywhere. It gets even juicier.
I don't want to bring any discredit upon the military, because the actions of soldiers, they do not reflect the military. But there are a lot of times where, and you're away from home, and so the first thing you can do is cling to people. You develop a camaraderie where pretty much what goes on base stays on base.
Guess what's coming now? The judge questions Ms. Brown Murray about a close male friend overseas, who Mr. Murray suspects to be the real father of their child. This moment intensifies the drama as it touches directly on the paternity issue. The next part will knock your socks off.
Is that who your husband thinks the father of your child really is?
Yes, that's who he thinks that had sex.
We was riding around in the car. I'm asking her, I thought it was kind of odd. Why is he calling you? Oh, just to make sure I'm doing okay. make sure you're doing okay. Well, is something wrong? No. And then that was the end of that conversation.
He called me because he wanted to make sure I was okay, that I made it home alive.
Hold on to your coffee. This is big. Mr. Murray recounts the moment his wife announced her pregnancy, which was shortly after her return. The timing and circumstances of the pregnancy further fuel his doubts about paternity. What unfolds next is crucial to the plot.
Scold her on that. I never had an attitude.
Okay.
It is what it is. And I remember it, a long day at 10:30 at night. She wakes me up. Now I'm asleep. And then she tells me she's pregnant. She shows me the pregnancy test. Well, Your Honor, you can barely see the line. So she convinced me. Because I seen the line from the beginning to end, a very, very thin line.
Okay.
Here's the grand finale, everyone. The climax of the episode, where the DNA test results are revealed.
It has been determined by this court that you are her father.
Thank you.
Brace yourself for this wild start. Ms. Brewington strides into court with full confidence, adamant to prove that Mr. Lee is the rightful father of her 3-year-old son, Giovanni. She lays down her claims firmly, saying that Mr. Lee has played dad since day one, but now denies paternity to sidestep child support payments. Mr. Lee shoots back, labeling Ms. Brewington a master of deception, accusing her of spinning lies just to tap into his wallet. You won't believe what's coming up next.
You are here to prove your 3-year-old son Giovanni is Mr. Lee's biological child. You claim Mr. Lee has been a father to your son since the day he was born and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid paying child support. You say you've known from day one Giovanni was not your son.
Ms. Brewington's certainty and relationship background. Gear up, the plot thickens. Ms. Brewington unpacks her story with gusto, detailing her unwavering certainty that Mr. Lee is Giovanni's dad, owing to their exclusive romantic escapades and a past littered with shared parental duties over another child. She recounts their attempts at mending their rocky relationship, certain that the news of her pregnancy would be anything but a shock to Mr. Lee. Hang on, because the next part adds even more spice to the drama.
So, Ms. Brewington, you claim you are 100% certain that Mr. Lee is the father, and can you tell me how you know?
100% certain that he is my son's father. Not only was I only sleeping with him, we were actually working on our relationship. We already have a child from a previous situation. We got back together. So when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't think it was gonna be a shock or a surprise or anything like that.
Mr. Lee's doubt and living arrangements. Things are about to get even more tangled. Amidst the courtroom's stifled giggles, Mr. Lee stands his ground, fervently denying his involvement, painting a picture of a time when their romantic flames were doused, claiming no shared sheets nor hearts at the conception time. The air crackles with tension as they spar over cohabitation details, with Ms. Brewington dropping bombshells about their living situation. Just wait till you hear what's up next. It's a real doozy.
I want to know why you have doubt.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse.
You don't believe you were working on the relationship at the time Giovanni was conceived?
No, not at all.
Your Honor, I was living with him. We were living in the same household, in the same bed.
Are you living in the same house?
Around the time, yes.
So were you sharing a bed?
Yes, ma'am.
And fluids.
No.
Clearly.
Next up, the plot does more than just thicken. It explodes. Ms. Brewington describes her shock at discovering her pregnancy during a routine medical appointment, originally meant for birth control. Mr. Lee's reaction? Utter disbelief, prompting a spree of store-bought pregnancy tests, all of which echo the positive result. Despite the clear tests, Mr. Lee clings to denial, insisting their last romantic encounter doesn't align with the pregnancy timeline. Buckle up, because the next revelations are even more jaw-dropping.
Found out that I was pregnant. I actually went to the doctor to just re-up on my birth control. They said, oh, you actually missed your last shot. I didn't even realize it. They said that they had to do a pregnancy test before they could go ahead with the birth control. It came up positive. He did not believe me at all. He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests, made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby, because we didn't have sex.
You're not ready for what happens next. As Ms. Brewington's belly grows, Mr. Lee's denial reaches new heights, publicly declaring her weight gain to be from fast food, not a growing baby. However, his tune changes dramatically at the hospital post-birth. He shows up, signs the birth certificate, and even names the baby, actions that starkly contradict his previous public denials. Stay tuned, because the conclusion to this episode is nothing short of epic.
I wasn't happy, so happy birthday didn't fit.
So you both have a different story about what happened in the relationship. So let's fast forward to throughout this pregnancy, as you prepare for the birth of Giovanni. Was Mr. Lee present?
No, he was telling people I was just getting fat. He was like, she just eats a lot of fast food. Everybody was my friends were rubbing my stomach. I'm showing ultrasounds to people. He's like, don't believe her, she's just fat. The entire time. I'm talking about, I'm going into labor. He's like, no, you're not.
Prepare for the grand finale. It's a real shocker. The court holds its breath as the results envelope is opened.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Told y'all.
Hold up.
I already knew it. I told you.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who
plan.
else?
Buckle up, folks. It's about to get real. Judge Lake puts the spotlight on the explosive situation threatening Miss Valdez-Lark and Mr. Slater's engagement. The whole drama centers around whether Mr. Slater sneakily fathered a child with his ex, Miss Pitts. This revelation has thrown everything off balance, setting up a roller coaster of emotions and accusations. Just wait, it's only getting spicier from here.
Claim your engagement to your fiancé, Mr. Slater, is on hold
Yes, Your
until
Honor.
you determine today if he cheated on you and fathered his ex's 1-year-old daughter, Herm. You are that ex and are not only here today to also want Mr. Slater's fiancé to know, still attempting to have a sexual relationship with you.
Hold on to your popcorn. This plot twist is juicy. During a heart-to-heart, Miss Pitts spills the beans about her childbirth saga and how she almost gave her baby up for adoption, a decision heavily involving Mr. Slater for legal and emotional reasons. It's a messy blend of past decisions and present regrets that adds layers to the paternity puzzle. Strap in, because the next part is a real eyebrow raiser.
When I was having my baby, the adoption parents was at the hospital. I was fixing to get my daughter up.
You were considering adopt, and you needed the father to sign off, etc. So you were making this call for that reason.
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't even get him on the phone. She got me. He wasn't there.
No way. Did he just say that? Mr. Slater's response to Judge Lake's probing is cooler than a cucumber, which only makes everyone more suspicious. He's so laid back about the accusation, it's almost as if he's watching this drama unfold on TV instead of being in the middle of it. But don't wander off now. His next move is a total doozy.
You're mighty quiet over there. You get this call, and you believe you're the father?
No, because I haven't had sex with her.
So why would she say if you haven't had sex with her at all?
She
Take care of
obsessed
my
with
child.
me.
Why would
Every
I not
relationship
get
I
my
be
baby
in,
on
she
you?
call
I
her.
said, what, sir?
I said, cause she obsessed with me. Everyone I call him and tell him that I got her pregnant.
Yikes, talk about being in a pickle. As Miss Valdez-Lark airs her doubts about the future with Mr. Slater, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Their engagement hangs by a thread, hinging on the results of this nerve-wracking paternity test. What comes next? It's sure to knock your socks off, so stay tuned.
Somebody with
He
some
don't
old
do
bogus
nothing
story.
for my
If
baby.
it wasn't
Why would I keep
true.
on putting my baby on him? He don't like him.
She's a beautiful baby. I got to
She's
give
just
you
like-
that. I just told him back there that she
No, the
looked
baby
right.
look like her mom.
Sent me a text message of the baby
She
to my
asked for
phone.
it.
I asked for her, and I was so grateful that she sent it to me because when I got the picture, I told him the baby resembled his mother.
Oh boy, Judge Lake is not having any of it today. She calls out the ludicrous circus of lies and deceit swirling around the courtroom. With everyone throwing shade and dodging truths, she's all about slicing through the nonsense. Keep your eyes peeled, because what happens next is a real kicker.
You've never slept with Miss Pitts, and that's
you're
why
right,
this
y'all.
baby cannot, because you have never, ever slept with her in recent past.
You're right.
Look at me in my face when you testifying, because you know what? Liars
Can't look at you.
look around when they're talking. I'm right here.
I can't remember y'all.
And boom goes the dynamite. The DNA results are in.
Mr. Slater, you are her father.
Now play with it. Go on, marry him. Now play with it.
Hold on to your popcorn. Ms. Edelin drops a bombshell right off the bat, declaring there's no way her late son Quentin fathered Ms. Thomas's daughter, Savannah. She throws shade by labeling Ms. Thomas as a promiscuous hanger-on, who's not just been with multiple partners, but also with some of her own family members. Ms. Edelin stands firm, clearly not having any of it, and firmly asserts her son's innocence in this paternity saga. You think this is spicy? Just wait until the next bit.
Say there is no way your deceased son Quentin fathered the defendant's daughter. You claim Miss Thomas is a promiscuous hanger-on who slept with many people other than your son, including your own family members.
Brace yourself, because here comes a counterpunch. After the tragic loss of Quentin, the supposed love of her life, Ms. Thomas steps up to defend her position against Ms. Edelin's harsh accusations. She claims Quentin is undoubtedly Savannah's biological dad and is all set to prove it today. Stirring the pot of this already tumultuous family drama, the emotional roller coaster doesn't stop here. The revelations just keep coming.
You say that after tragically losing Quentin, the love of your life, Edelin has made your life miserable with her paternity denial. Son is undoubtedly Savannah's biological father, and you intend to prove that today.
The plot thickens. Ms. Edelin recalls conversations with her son where he expressed doubts about Savannah's paternity. She's adamant about her stance, using these confidences as ammunition in her argument. Meanwhile, Ms. Thomas admits there was a brief breakup during which she might have been with someone else, but insists she was upfront about it. Strap in. This emotional merry-go-round is about to go off the rails.
Quentin had confided in me more than once and twice. about people she slept with.
So your son actually said this?
Yes.
Miss Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said Quentin was the love of your life. Were you cheating on him during the relationship?
Actually, what actually happened was we had split up for a little minute, and it was a possibility, and I brought it to his attention around the time I had.
Get ready for a jaw dropper. Ms. Edelin shares a wild tale about Quentin discovering his car parked at his best friend's house, only to find Ms. Thomas hiding in a closet there. This soap opera-worthy moment is presented as proof of Ms. Thomas's supposed betrayal, painting a picture of deceit and mistrust. Oh, but there's more drama ahead that you won't want to miss.
This one time, he said he was getting off of work from working one of his 2 jobs. He goes by his best friend's house and he sees his white Cadillac parked in his best friend's, which is the car that he would let Alexis drive while he was at work. So Quentin tells me he had to knock on the door to get his best friend to tell him where Alexis, he said, why is my car over in your house? Where's Alexis? He said that Alexis let him use the car.
Things are heating up. In an explosive exchange, Ms. Edelin and Ms. Thomas go head-to-head, hurling accusations about past indiscretions and their tumultuous relationship with Quentin. The courtroom turns into a verbal battleground, with both parties passionately defending their positions. The tension is palpable, and believe me, it's about to get even hotter.
I've been with your son 5 years. Why you lied on me? You never liked me from the beginning at all. You never liked me from the beginning.
That's right, because you always want to be in some man's face, want to see.
I never been in no man's face. I've been faithful with him.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. I want to understand this. What your conclusion was, Ms. Edelin, is your son was trying to say that he believed Miss Thomas was in the house, somebody else.
Correct.
Here's where things get heartfelt. Despite the swirling paternity doubts, Quentin showed his commitment by actively participating in prenatal appointments and even signing the birth certificate. This touching display of responsibility showcases his character and the emotional complexity of the situation. But hold on, the saga takes a twist in the next chapter.
When Savannah was born, was Quentin there for you? Did he go to appointments with you?
Yes, he was there every step of the way.
He even signed the birth certificate.
He even signed the birth certificate, which I have a
doubt
copy
lingering in his
of.
mind.
I'd like to see that. Jerome, please hand me that evidence. So this is the birth certificate?
Yes.
For Savannah Marie Thomas Edelin.
You won't believe this twist. It comes to light that Ms. Thomas had a fling with Quentin's brother, which adds a whole new layer of drama to the case. This bombshell raises serious questions about her character and her actions within the family, setting the stage for even more family fireworks. The emotional stakes are sky high, and the next moments are crucial.
Mr. Edelin, thank you for joining us. We're here today having a hearing concerning the paternity of baby Savannah. Your mother believed that your younger brother, Quentin, your late brother, believed that Miss Thomas had been having relationships with other men, but your mom also testified that you had had a sexual relationship with Miss Thomas in the past as well. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense. As the case winds down, Ms. Edelin and Ms. Thomas lay bare their emotional struggles and desperate hopes for clarity on Savannah's paternity. Their heartfelt pleas for understanding and resolution tug at the heartstrings. The crescendo of this family drama is about to reach its peak.
As much as Quentin had a doubt in his mind that that baby may not be his, he was still willing to be with you and that baby. And he asked me to do the same, that you need help. You need somebody that's firm, strong, and can help you as well. I helped you get jobs when y'all was in LIARS. If I can't do one thing, I help somebody get a job, get on their feet, and get up out my house.
Yes, Mom, yes.
Cue the dramatic finale. The DNA test results are in.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Lucille Edelin and Savannah Thomas Edelin is 99.98%. You are related.